Our next opera, ladies and gentlemen, takes us to the land of opera itself. Italy.
Italy. Home of Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Anagoni.
And Gracie Fields. It's our latest collaboration, just completed, and we are calling it The Chandeliers.
Yes.
Now, this one tells the story of the two inferior decorators, Marco Applebaum and Giuseppe Guggenheim, who have been together ever since they met in the art school in Rome.
Now there, these two boys shared everything. I'm glad you got that subtle wink there, ladies and gentlemen. Without that, the whole thing has no meaning at all. Now, this is revealed in the prologue before this, our most spectacular opera. They get on so well together in the art course in Rome, they decide to open an interior decorating salon in Venice. And it's in Venice where Act 1 takes place.
Ah, Venice. You know Venice, eh?
We know Venice, of course.
That's the place where all the pavement artists do their paintings in watercolors.
Yes. Yes, it's true. Now, when the curtain rises on Act 1, you will see this is our most spectacular opera because the entire stage is flooded with water.
Flooded with water.
Water absolutely everywhere. Incidentally, this opera is very rarely produced.
And I can't think why. How expensive is water?
Yes. Anyway, let's discuss the two stars, Marco and Giuseppe. These two lads are bent on making a success of their job. They are, and they do everything together. You know, they study together, and now they're living together, they're working together, they do everything together. They saw the boys in the band together. They wear the same peculiar clothes, walk the same strange way, share the same hair lacquer, same pink jeans.
Solomon, do you mind?
What is it, Gilbert?
Gracious me, the way you're talking about those two boys, Marco and Giuseppe, anybody would think they were...
Pray, tell me, what does you mean when it is translated?
But you want I should paint you a diagram?
Goldberg, all I'm asking you to do is to speak the Queen's English. No.
Don't I have enough difficulty speaking my own? The way you're talking about those boys, Marco and Giuseppe, anybody would think they were like that.
Oh, but of course they were, Goldberg, of course they were. As a coot.
Are you for sure?
Of course I am. Of that there is no possible doubt, no possible probable shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever. Both of them.
Well, all I can say is I'm absolutely flabbergasted.
Oh.
Really?
No, ladies and gentlemen, I think at this juncture in the evening I should offer my sincerest apologies on behalf of my collaborating partner. He claims to have given birth to these characters in this creation of his, and yet by his own admission he has no conception what they are up to, and I do apologize for this
Just
admission.
a minute, clever dickle. Our character can get out of hand, you know.
Don't talk.
Oh, yeah, I'll give you another for instance.
Don't go.
Was a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, a writer. Some of you here may even have heard of him, Sholem Aleichem.
Oh, yes, Sholem Aleichem.
The rich man's Godfrey Wynne. I'll never forget once he started writing a book. When he started writing it, it was called The Pill. And by the time he'd finished it, it was called The Birth of a Nation. So don't tell me what...
Come on, Goldberg, let's get back to the boys.
You make your own arrangements, thank
Now
you.
look, Goldberg, I'm warning you. Will you just stick to your plot and describe the set on the stage behind the canal?
Yes.
The interior decorating.
Ah,
Come
yes.
with it.
Well, they've got their blue marble,
Yes.
pink marble, gold cupids,
Olivetti equipment everywhere.
indoor fountains with running hot and cold water. Every modern inconvenience they've got there.
They've got everything excepting a receptionist.
So what did they do?
We'll tell them.
They asked their cook housekeeper if she would like to give them a hand out there at the reception counter in the salon. Now, she agrees, provided they let her operate a salt beef sandwich bar right there, Dalton, bang in the middle of the reception counter.
Yes. Now, this housekeeper receptionist cook is a Mrs. Greenberg from Florence. No, friends, no relation to Mrs. Florence Greenberg, who everybody knows as the Yiddish galloping gourmet. No. This is a Mrs. Gloria Greenberg. She's a reformed Jewish lady. And she learned the art of cooking from her late husband.
He was an accountant.
Yes. You must agree with me. It is a very unique setup, an interior decorating salon in Venice with a built-in nosh bar there, right in the centre of the reception area. But this is one of Goldberg's devices, one of his, where he uses plenty of theatrical license here. It gives him an opportunity to give Mrs. Greenberg some very interesting recipes to sing. Why don't you do that one, that famous one of hers in Act 1?
A cordon essen bleu.
Yes, sing
No,
for it.
I'm doing it. No, I'm going to do latkes for the masses.
No, sing cordon
Latkes
essen
for the
bleu.
masses. I fancy that one.
All right.
Okay, no. Suck it to me, Solomon. Take a pair of pizza pies. Grate a slice from camembert. Add a spoon of water and lime. Sprinkle chocolate on some rice. And to show you've got the flair, add a pinch of sage and thyme. Let it simmer through the night. Gently stir it on the hour. Be particular in this. If it sticks, and well it might, add a grain from home pride flour. Oi, what a joy is awaiting you, for its taste is bliss. No, serve it from the pot, to ensure it's piping hot. 'Cause if it's not, indigestion may arise. Waving goodbyes to your lovely pair of pies. Pizza pies. Take a lovely chicken breast. Dunk it in some kosher wine. And then hang it out to dry. You've got time to take a rest, for to make the taste divine, you should let a month go by. Add some fresh-made cottage cheese.
Oh, no, you don't, Goldberg.
Oh, no, you don't. No.
Look, if this is going to be a kosher recipe, isn't it? Well, you should know that you are not allowed to mix the meat with the milk. Am I wrong? No. Well, sort yourself out.
So forget the cottage cheese. Substitute with gooseberry jam. Be particular in this, for the taste is bound to please any gourmet noshing man. And you will be satisfied, for its taste is bliss. No, what a treat you have in store. You are bound to shout encore, asking for more. Fill yourself, you lucky man, everything's fresh. There is nothing from the can. Lucky boy, eat, enjoy.
Anybody who risks sampling Mrs. Greenberg's little recipes before going on a journey is bound to end up sic transit gloria. But three-quarters of the way through Act 1, there is a member of the cast, a tenor, for those who are interested, who happens to be an executive director with the Eurovision Television Network. It's a very modern opera, this. Oh, yes. And he presents Mrs. Greenberg in a very touching little scene there with a contract to do cooking programs which are shown all over the network every week. Now, she insists that the program should be telecast in her own little nosh bar area there in the interior decorating salon. What a setting for a cooking program. Fountains and cupids and things. And she also insists that Marco and Giuseppe should appear in the program as host and hostess. Now, this is a magnificent commercial for their business, which is, as I say, seen every week all over the continent. Now, that takes care of a very busy and colourful Act 1.
Act 2. Change of location. Meanwhile, over in Spain,
You all right, Gilbert?
the Duchess Platz Oratorio, who's a regular viewer of the Greenberg television spectacular, points out to her husband, the Duke, that as their stately home is in need of a freshening up all round, that they should send for Marco and Giuseppe, the two inferior decorators from Venice.
Yes, now you see, this Duke, he's not at all handy round the house with a paintbrush. He's more of an outdoor chappie, you see, growing roses. It was great success. He's got a big lot of red and white roses. We've got a big chorus about the red and white roses he grows in Mallorca there. In fact, this rose growing, after several years of cultivating some beauties behind his tool shed, at the bottom end of his garden, this Duke has developed a particular strain.
And we're not at all surprised.
No. But he's a clever chap.
Oh,
Clever
this Duke
chap.
is a clever chap.
yes,
Good.
enterprise.
He runs his stately home. What a business he does with that stately home. He runs it like a sort of a Claridge's holiday camp.
Yes. So if you're looking for a Camp Claridge's holiday, you know exactly where to get.
In fact, I'll tell you something. In the trade, the Duke is known as Woban Abbey.
Yes. That's fair. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to perform the song the Duke sings in Act 2, which describes how he got this title and how he got to this position in Mallorca. Very enterprising fellow. Yeah. I'm the Duke Platz Oratorio, and I'll tell you how I earn my daily dough. I've put my palace here on show on this island of Mallorca. The tourists come by charter plane to see my stately home in Spain, and all of them come back again, 'cause I'm a clever talker. I have formed myself a company with limited liability. The directors are the wife and me, 'cause we're in this for money.
Oi, oi, what a clever boy. He's making pots of money.
Now in Spain we've really made the grade. Each season we expand our trade. There's lots of money to be made here where the weather's sunny.
He's got the business you should see. I'd like a piece of it for me.
Our tourist trade is sound, you see, 'cause here the weather's sunny.
Dance. Enough.
Have you done your own thing, Gilbert? Oh. My Duchess wife, to tell the truth, is known to her friends by her first name, Ruth. We met when we were in our youth, and our courting days were heaven. We bought this place, it was just a hole, and to make it a palace was our goal. Then we changed our name by deed poll in 1947. Since then we've learned the castanets and filled our share of bassinets with little Spanish boo-boo-lets, and all of them have titles now.
Oi, oi, what a clever boy. He's given them each a title.
Of course, now we're Spanish aristocracy, noted for our hospitality. So when you're near, pop in for tea and taste our toasted bagels.
He's got that business you should see. Toasted nosh with cups of tea.
A pleasure it will always be to let you taste our bagels. 2 more coffees, Mr. Forte, please. Thank you very much. No sugar, thank you. No. Now the ballroom with its marble stairs, we let it out for swell affairs. Weddings, charities, and there we stage the odd bar mitzvah. My Ruth, she dresses for each do. Her lace is always white and blue. Mantillas in a lovely hue, and a bolero if it fits her. Gilbert, the bolero is higher. Guitars and Spanish dances fly in fandangos that catch your eye. The wine it flows and no one's dry. It's such a celebration.
Oi, oi, what a clever boy. What I'd give just to be a relation.
Now the Duke and Duchess welcome you. Just a few pesetas down will do. Our visit to the Palace Auditorium can be a revelation.
He's got that business the gelt is making, ooh, ooh.
Come one and all, we'll show a ball for you. A Spanish celebration. Ole! A successful businessman and jolly with it as well. I like to see there. Cheers.
Well, anyhow, the Duke, you see, he sends for the 2 boys, Marco and Giuseppe, to come over from Venice.
Yes.
And do you know, they've made so much money from this inferior decorating business. They've got their own private plane.
Naturally. 707.
That's right. One that they bought spot-net cash from El Al.
Yes.
They call it the Passover. But that's not to do about nothing.
Yes. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is the big, spectacular moment in Act 2. Because on those rare occasions when this opera is produced, the 707 actually does come in on the stage from the prompt side over here, you see. Comes in over here.
That's right. It flies over Big Ben there.
That's right. And it stops about over here. It's a very large plane. Then the entire side of the aircraft becomes transparent.
And you can see through it as well.
The object of this is so that you can see, the audience can see the luxury these boys have in this aircraft. You've got to see it. They've got a bathroom each, and one for Mrs. Greenberg. They've got 2 kitchens, one for the meat and one for the milk. It is a kosher Boeing, yes. And they have got floor-to-floor carpeting everywhere. Wall-to-wall television. Stereophonic telephones.
In color.
They've got a cinema projector there with the anamorphic cinemascope lens for blowing up old movies of Bette Davis. Because the boys, they like Bette Davis, you see. And in the tailpiece of the plane, they have constructed an apartment for their own private doctor, who travels everywhere with the lads, just in case they feel a little queer.
Believe you to me, Liberace couldn't hold it a candelabra to this entourage.
Mind you, he has tried.
By George, he's tried.
Anyway, the door eventually opens on the plane and the boys come down, followed by all those hat boxes and Mrs. Greenberg. Then we have the pièce de résistance.
What?
There's some Yiddish for you, Gilbert. Pièce de résistance, because from this side of the stage, the OP side, comes a fleet of Rolls Royces. One has the Duke in it, the second one has the Duchess, and there's one for each of the children. Now they pick up a boy, a bag, and Mrs. Greenberg, and off they go to the palace. What a banquet. Chandeliers everywhere. The stage is a glitter. Then, after a good night's rest, or words to that effect, the boys are up and at it first thing in the morning.
What?
At work, Gilbert, with a piece of paper and a pencil. And in our final song this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to perform the Decorator's Gavotte, as sung in the opera by Marco and Giuseppe. It'll tell you how they planned the renovation. Thank you very much.
Just a minute, Solomon. I want a quick word with our friends. As you know, my friends, it was only about 6-7 minutes ago that Solomon pointed out to me certain characteristics about Marco and Giuseppe which had never occurred to me before. I think what I'm trying to say is, okay, it says in the program we shall sing the Decorator's Gavotte, so we'll sing the Decorator's Gavotte. But please remember, we are actors.
Yes.
We don't want people coming backstage afterwards asking for Miss Goldberg and Lady Solomon. Or it'll cost you plenty.
At least a carton of cigarettes.
Rothmans.
King size.
King size, queen size, circum, so long as it's Rothmans.
Come along there. Stand like a teapot.
Like that?
No. An Italian teapot.
Very good. Like that.
That's it.
I suggest we paint the kitchens yellow.
Yellow isn't in now, I'd say puce.
Puce in a kitchen?
Yes.
Stupid fellow. When it comes to colours, you're obtuse.
Oh, is no imagination. No sense of sensation, is colourblind in both eyes and myopically inclined.
You're such a menace. I'll send you up to Venice with a colour chart imprinted by my foot on your behind.
Promises. Mamma mia, Frank Sinatra, plus the swear words that I never learned in Rome.
Gondolier, doily Cartra, how I wish that you had stayed at home.
Right, I'm going back to my Coliseum and I'll tell our friends, just you wait till I see 'em.
You're such a boa.
Likewise, I'm sure.
Oh, look at him, eh? Now we know what happened to Baby Jane then.
Here, I'll give you Baby Jane in a moment.
Yes, over my dead body.
That can be arranged.
No, it's a shame. He hasn't been the same since they bombed the Queen's Hall, you know.
You speak for yourself.
Come along, Giuseppe, let us still be friends. We have got a job on which our livelihood depends.
Let us make a truce now, let us make amends. Let's live up to our trade sign, which is Homo sapien.
I think the kitchens should be mellow.
Oh, if we're to argue, what's the use? Oh, I just had the duckiest idea.
Yeah.
I have ever. Struck me right there.
So?
Let's have the ceilings painted in yellow. And to compromise, we will paint the walls in peace.
Yes, I like that.
Oh, that sounds super.
Yes, I like that, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see the finished result
Yes,
myself.
should be lovely.
Yes.
Where'd you like to go now, then?
Well, I myself, speaking personally, if I might be so bold,
Yes.
as to suggest, would like to go to the throne room.
You'll die in that throne room. I, on the other hand, would like to go to the ballroom.
To the where?
To the ballroom.
Oh, yes, trust you to want to
Now
go
watch
to
it. Let us fit the ballroom out with curtains.
Oh, I'm simply mad for O'Donnell.
Mad he is of that, I am quite certain. What is the Italian for schlemiel?
Once again he started. Maybe when we've parted, he will learn his lesson, but by then 'twill be too late.
What makes you think I need you? You can go where I freed you. All that glitters is not gold, especially when it's plate.
You run and wash your mouth out. Molto grazie, prima donna. Arrivederci mio amico stupido. I've told him off. Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when you can take a certain amount and you can't take any more, and I've had my fill. Oh, look, you've been biting my nails again, too. Oh, look.
I've told you before, and I'll tell you again, don't you lower your voice to me. Macher Schaefer, worse than Trafer, Schlumpf the muzzle, not to mention Schmo.
Right. You're much too much. I shall pack my things now.
Mind how you go, don't forget your rings now.
I'll go and soon.
You'll change your tune.
Marco.
Yes, Giuseppe.
I have just changed my tune.
Blimey, that's quick, isn't it?
Well, you know me, I don't take long to change. Back now to the palace, we've so much to do.
Now about that ballroom, shall we paint it peacock blue?
Anything you say, Mark, I'm for pleasing you. Blue or green or in between, from you I'll take the cue.
Why no?
What?
In the entrance hall, I will sculpt a Venus.
A what?
A Venus. No.
What?
I'll make him a youth.
A what?
A youth.
Yes.
In the nude.
Yes.
In bronze.
And in his hand he can hold his fig leaf. Tra-la-la-la-la, ogni swaggy mali pong.
Our operas mirror life as life really is. You know, one minute happy. We may have it our disagreements,
All the time.
but deep down he knows I'm always right.
Out of the mouths of apes and sucklings cometh forth rubbish. Friends, before we do leave the theatre tonight, we would like to make mention of a list of people without whose cooperation this extravaganza could not have taken place in such splendor before your very eyes.
Firstly, we would like to thank our parents,
Yes.
Gilbert and Sullivan.
Yeah. They're not our parents. No. We'd like to thank the management for having us. We've been nicely had, thank you. We loved every moment of it. No, what's this?
Like to thank...
What's this notice here?
Oh, have you got it?
Pie Record Company wish to thank the Society for the Preservation of Wild Life for the loan of the cast. Yes. Oh,
I'd like to
charming.
thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You've been a wonderful, wonderful audience.
No question.
No, I would go so far as to say that you have been the finest Monday night audience we played to this week.
Yes, and thank you. You've made it a financial pleasure. Thank you very much. Oh yes. Now we would like to just say that we you know, if you see we're advertised, and if you've got any friends, you will tell them. That's of course if you've enjoyed the show.
That's right, yes.
Yes.
If
Of course.
Yes, if you haven't enjoyed the show,
Oh,
well,
gat for the hull.
yes. Then
Take a stum powder. We've indulged, though somewhat frugally, in a marriage that conjugally must conceive a brand new track.
Shield of David,
Union Jack. For our birth is quite beyond control. Be you Russian, Prussian, Greek or Pole,
born a Jacob,
or plain Jack,
born a Taffy,
or a Mac. Now you've heard our kosher version of a thought that's quite Gilbertian. So we'll say it once again, that they might have been,
well, they might have been
a pair of grand old Jews